Randy's Random Rants. So, right before making this post, I ended up running into the pictures the real pictures of this boy and him after the fact of them finding him. I'm not gonna post these pictures on here out of respect for the boy's family. I'm actually on my way to a funeral right now. One of my cousins died, but out of respect for his family, I'm not gonna post these pictures. I feel like crying looking at it. I mean, horrified. And I will more than likely be erasing these pictures from off of my stuff too. Like, that's not something that I want to ever look at or hold on to or remember. That's not how you want to remember somebody. For his family, I hope that they don't let like his mom and certain people see those pictures. It's just, you know how they say like a picture is worth 1,000 words, or if you see somebody in that, like when they're dead, that's how you're gonna remember them, or whatever the case is. I don't really believe in that, but that imprint there, you don't want that. That's fucked. That's very, very. They better be compensated for every single, every second of pain that they have to go through, every second of pain that boy had to go through, which means that they should be as rich as Elon Musk, if you ask me. After this, I mean, that is just horrible. Horrible. And everybody that has anything to, boy, I'm talking anything, any recollection, anything to do, any kind of hand, finger, fingernail, any association with anybody that can be affiliated with the reasoning and the outcome of what has happened, they all need to be put somewhere and never let out of wherever you put them. I'm serious. Wow. Man, I'm looking at this picture. This picture is enough to give somebody a headache. It's bad enough that not only does it speak for itself, it's one of those pictures that I don't know if it's a hallucination or what, but your sense of smell will even start acting up on you. Let alone your appetite being robbed from you. Whoever had something to do with this boy's death, and I don't believe that you could get eaten up by bed bugs to death, you know? There's no way I'm showing you people these pictures. There's no way that I'm keeping these pictures on any device or anything that I have. For real. I wish I could forget what I'm looking at. I wish this never ever happened. Just like a lot of things, but boy, that is just complete torture. Just, oh man, like we were all doing something while this was going on, whatever it was, having fun, complaining about life, complaining about work, worried about this, worried about them over here, or whatever somebody's doing, you know, your wife cheating on you, whatever. I mean, nothing compares to this. I want to know exactly what it is that somebody or anybody could have done to deserve what this kid has received. I want to know what he did that, how, it's something that we're all missing here. But the main thing is how it's possible at all for something like that to happen. And without an exaggeration, seriously, how? That crap just screwed my whole emotional status up. I just came back from a funeral just now, from the funeral that I said I was going to. I know on a recording it seems like that. It's like you just went to sleep and don't even know, right? But we're talking about bed bugs, and they have no remorse, no nothing. If nothing stops them from going to where they want to go, which means that they are like coming out of them. You got blood spots, scars, scabs, scrapes, like all over this boy's body. And he was a heavy set guy, and now he's all skinny and ate up. Just hard. These people need to be put to death. Like, death is too good for them. I'm talking like public humiliation for the rest of their life. Like guillotine style, but don't chop the head off, just let people do what they want to them. You people deserve to be fucking destroyed. I feel like I want to show you people, for the people who haven't seen, but like I said, out of respect for his family, I'm not posting these pictures of him. You can see these. You can take a look at the cell. Man, oh man. I would be trying to get my hands on somebody, a CO, a director, the warden, somebody. Like, I would be trying to get my hands on somebody's ass. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't think that I would be able to say anything different if it was somebody that I don't know. I feel like doing something now. I can't. Like, hands are tied over here. Word. It even looked like there's blood on the toilet bowl, with fecal matter and whatever else. So you got somebody that has bugs, laying with bugs, scabs and cuts, and laying in grime and shitting in grime and fecal matter and blood. There's no words to describe the disgust that I could imagine how many people have. Like, I'm disgusted for having to have seen it for anybody else, but for this boy, man. Wow. The creepiest thing, one of the creepiest things is the look on his face, is that he was obviously a strong dude because his eyes still look like they got life in them. Like, boy, yeah, man. No matter how you look at no matter how you add this situation up, the people in that jail murdered him. Whether or not it was that they actually let him lay there for days and weeks to where bed bugs could actually eat you alive. I mean, you'd have to hear somebody complaining, crying, whining, yelling, all kinds of shit all through the night. They're worse at night, like when the fucking lights is off and all that shit. Like, yo. But I don't believe that that's what happened. I believe somebody probably killed him. Like, somebody probably physically killed him. It looks like I see a mark, a weird bruise on his rib cage, like a circle or something. But yeah, now there has got to be something done about the jail facilities, the laws, the governments governing these laws and people and institutes. But it says that an Atlanta man died in a local jail after being eaten alive by bed bugs, alleges a lawyer representing the man's family. Now, I don't know how possible that could be. A local jail, but eaten alive. Like, do you understand how much somebody would have to be yelling and screaming, and for how long? Eaten alive by bed bugs? Like, that's some horrible stuff to think about. And if that's what you want to claim, then what was going on? Like, were you guys listening to this guy screaming and yelling and getting ate up by bed bugs? It sounds like another Silence of the Lamb episode here. The family of LASHAWN Thompson, 35, is calling for a criminal investigation into Thompson's death and for the closure and replacement of the local jail after alleging that Thompson died in custody from bed bugs in a squalid jail cell. There's no way in the world. I mean, for the family to have to inquire for an investigation or pay for an investigation for something like this, like, it doesn't matter how you look at it. For somebody to die in your custody, that's one thing. To be eaten by bed bugs is another thing. And then to even have that story like it's a possible thing. Like, you had to have had that kid, like, you had to have been like trying to torture him, or like, instead of putting him in solitary, you're gonna throw him in a cell and not feed him or something. Like, there's no way that a person could get eaten up by bed bugs in a short period of time, and then you guys find him dead in there with bed bugs fucking chewing him up. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter if you guys killed him or somebody killed him before, which I believe has to be the answer. He was murdered and then thrown into a disgusting cell. Like, how the hell, even if there was conditions like that, then how many other cells are like that? How many are all of your inmates in those kind of conditions? That is an impossible thing for someone not to be held liable for a murder. And if not one person, multiple people. Thompson was incarcerated at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta on a misdemeanor charge. Jail officials had placed Thompson in the facility's psychiatric unit after determining that he had mental health issues, but noted that his physical health was good. So on September 13th, 2022, while we're all out here complaining about life and shit, 3 months after being arrested, Thompson was discovered dead inside a dilapidated cell covered in grime and insects. The cell was so filthy that an employee wore a hazmat suit upon entering. That is crazy. That poor kid, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that his family got to go through that. Sorry he had to go through that. That is really, really screwed up. And the story just keeps getting sadder. Thompson's family, who lived in Alabama, had not known Thompson was incarcerated and only found out when authorities notified them about his death. That is some sad, that is really horrible. And I say this all the time, like, you'll be living your life, having a good time or a bad time, and like somebody is like he went through that. He was going through that while people are eating dinner and playing video games, and there's other people going through things, but I mean, that happened. He actually had to go through that. With nobody even knowing where he was or anything. That's some really screwed up shit. The report also confirmed that Thompson had signs of cuts and wounds along his body from picking his skin. That's so sad, man. Wow, that is so fucking horrible. Graphic photos released by Harper show the horrific condition of Thompson's cell and Thompson covered in bugs. So he telling me that this was what he was laying in, huh?
The family of a man who died in the Fulton County Jail says he was eaten alive in his cell by bedbugs and insects. Channel 2's Brian Mims is live at the jail. And Brian, the family is calling for a criminal investigation now.
Exactly. The family gathered here outside the Fulton County Courthouse to demand accountability in the death of LASHAWN Thompson. He died in September after a 3-month stay at the jail. Photos provided by the family's lawyer show a jail cell in deplorable condition and the dead detainee covered in bugs. 35-year-old LASHAWN Thompson was arrested last June for simple battery, a misdemeanor. His family's attorney provided this photo of his jail cell. It's filthy and only offers a glimpse of how bad the conditions were. The pictures of Thompson's body, his face and torso covered with bugs, are too graphic to show on TV. Attorney Michael Harper says Thompson was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but was physically healthy when he was booked into jail.
There is no excuse for a mentally ill inmate to be left alone in a jail, abandoned to die.
The medical examiner reported the cause of death as undetermined.
They did nothing to help him. Nothing. They found him dead in his cell, lying there, infested with bed bugs and life, and that's what killed him.
Thompson's brother, Brad McRae, says the family was horrified to see the photos.
It was heartbreaking because nobody should be seen like that. Nobody should see that.
The family is calling for a criminal investigation of the death and to
man.
replace the Fulton County Jail. A spokesperson for the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, which runs the jail, sent a written response. She says a full investigation was launched into the circumstances surrounding Thompson's death. The health, well-being, and security of inmates is our top priority, she says. It's no secret that the dilapidated and rapidly eroding conditions of the current facility make it incredibly difficult to meet the goal of providing a clean, well-maintained environment for all inmates and staff. That is precisely why Sheriff Labatt continues to call for building a new Fulton County jail with an elite level of care.
That poor kid, man.
The Sheriff's Office goes on to say that it's approved an additional $500,000 to address the bed bug and lice infestation. Along with calling for a criminal investigation, the family also plans to seek legal action against Fulton County. Live in downtown Atlanta, Brian Mims, Channel 2, Action News.
What do you mean a $50,000? Like, do you know what that means? If you got that many bed bugs that can eat a person while he's dead or alive, like, do you know how, like, that whole jail has to be fucking ripped apart? You can't take the inmates out and fucking or treat something like that with them there or anything. You have to destroy that whole place. You got to condemn it. So you could imagine bed bugs and lice. Like, so we talking rodents and roaches, and you better believe it, every blood-sucking animal and freaking walking vulture, every little scavenging little piece of shit is in that damn jail. And then imagine how many people in there are just getting fucking abused, like they just ain't shit for real, man. In them jails, everything looks different, man. The lighting is different. The smell, the air, the cloggy air, the no ventilation. The crowded, the sweaty balls, the smelly person that don't want to wash their ass because they gotta worry about people wanting to get next to them while they watching TV and shit. Like, listen, man, yo, you gotta really appreciate what you got out here, man, for real. Sometimes I complain myself, and then I have to remind myself, maybe that's why I do the news now. Oh boy, but to his family, to that kid, I'm so sorry that he had to go through that. And anybody else that's going through anything like that, I hope the best for you. I pray for you. I really do, truly.